What is up, NWA fam? In the house, it's not Gary, it's Will. Gary's out of town. You're stuck with me. You're going to hear my voice tonight more than you ever have heard my voice on this show.
It's already a record. It's already a record.
I have already surpassed
it.
How much I normally get to talk on this show. But this show is called This Is the NWA Weekly. It's where we celebrate the past, present, future, history, legacy, and tradition of the greatest wrestling company of all time, the National Wrestling Alliance. And Gary may not be here, but I got two dependable dudes right here with me. Right here to my right, your right also, because the screen is mirrored, is Daniel Dealz. Danny, what's your favorite color?
That's a trick question.
How's that a trick question? Green, color of money, baby.
There you go.
That's what we're talking about.
There you go.
Yeah.
It depends on the mood and the day of the week and the month.
I get it.
It is autumn.
The moon phases, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then right below us is the voice of the National Wrestling Alliance, the man who I cannot watch a wrestling match without hearing him commentate, and that is Joe Galli. Joseph, what are we grilling tonight?
Grill Master Galli in the house. Pretty simple, just some burgers, having some good time. Really, the weather out here is absolutely delectable in the South Texas region right now. So I'm really enjoying it. I'm watching monarch butterflies fly by. It's really enjoyable. You might notice Kyle's not here. Unfortunately, Kyle lives in a great state called Florida, and they've been having some issues as of late with Hurricane Ian. Our heart goes out to everybody else who is currently dealing with those conditions. Kyle, not too much damage, but having some issues with his power, with his Wi-Fi. He might be coming in and out. Gary might make a visit while he's on vacation. So you never know who's going to be showing up, except for our two big guests. Isn't that right, Will?
That's right. Tonight, it's been a big week in the NWA. We're going to talk about all of it. We're going to unpack all of that. But tonight, our guests are probably the biggest story coming out of this week of NWA TV. And that is, we now know what is going to happen to the vacated NWA television title. As we all know, Tyrus has cashed in his lucky 7. That means that he will have to give up the TV title in order to be in the main event at Hard Times 3 for the world title. However, that leaves a void. And this week on NWA USA, we found out how that is going to end up. And we've got the two men who ended up winning those spots. We'll talk about that in a minute. But we've got AJ Cazana and Jordan Clearwater. Normally we have one guest. Listen, when Gary's on here, we have one guest. Right? When I'm on here hosting, we have two, because we go right to them. We put them face to face. We're having a virtual face-off between these two guys who have earned a spot at their first shot at NWA Gold. For both of these guys, like, one of these guys is going to be television champ, and that's going to be their first title, and that's exciting. How do you feel about it, Joe?
That's dope. That's dope. I mean, talk about making history and taking advantages of the opportunities that are brought to you. And there's been an awful lot of discussion, about possibly seeing this match at Hard Times 3, but it actually could happen sooner. Speaking of a man coming in from Florida, doing the podcast in the dark, that's a lot more than Gary was willing to do. A lot more than Gary was willing to do, Gary.
Yeah, there's a lot of Gary heat.
Yeah, well,
I mean, let's face it, it's his show. Will, no disrespect, but I'm happy that you've taken over. It's an uprising. It's a new day. It's a brand new generation. Will, all day, every Monday from now on. Gary, who? Gary is the past, and we need to look forward to the future.
And next Monday, Gary, I'm so glad you're back. I missed you.
Yeah. Gary, you're my favorite host.
Kyle, it's interesting you're here by candlelight, because right now I have Brides of Dracula on from 1960 with, of course, horror OG Peter Cushing.
Spooky.
And he's got the candles going. He's searching for some chick just ran out of a grave, so he thought that was weird, so he's looking for her.
And horror at some point, and so I got my horror movie starting to go there. Midsummer, I really enjoyed the hell out of it. Good movie, kind of weird. Don't Go Into the House from 1979. Not good. Crazy dude with a flamethrower. No fun. And then Brightburn, the Superman takeoff. Entertaining as all hell.
Hey, Kyle, just while I have you here, this is off topic and nobody's going to know what we're talking about, but you should check your emails because it's important about what we're doing tomorrow. I got the alert and I'm on my phone, so you got to look at that when you get a chance.
I will check the email, but I can't do it while I'm on here. And I have Wi-Fi at the other house. I have Wi-Fi at the other house and power now. It's 5 minutes ago, so I'm going to go do that in the morning.
No. At the other house. See, Kyle's got a house for every day of the week.
Yeah.
Big time Kyle.
Now I got to check my email while we're talking. You guys keep talking.
Well, listen, hey, in case you did tune in to see Gary's beautiful face, we are putting a lot of heat on Gary tonight, but he is the cornerstone of this show. He holds it all together. He's the glue. In case you did tune in to see his face, I hopped on Facebook to try to find the best picture I could, and found this one. So
look at that baby face.
Yeah,
who's that
shirt? But
is that
there's
Gary?
And yeah, that's kind of a rib.
Wow.
Let's find something a little more recent, something with the beard.
Break the walls down. That guy looks like Jericho's debuting. Wow.
So
he's got a Rated R Superstar shirt on. He's got Ultimate Warrior face paint. He's got a Hulk Hogan boa on. He's got wristbands of John Cena. Wow.
I bet you it's a Halloween party.
No,
I hope he's not going to church or something.
I wouldn't put it past him. Past him. Gary, we do miss Gary. As we mentioned, he's on vacation. He's actually in New Orleans, which is very
apropos,
convenient. Yes, easy to make a transition out of, because New Orleans is the site of the biggest ticket in wrestling right now, coming up on November 12th and 13th. But you know what? Kyle may be in the dark, but earlier when he recorded this commercial, he wasn't. And so here's his beautiful voice telling you all about it.
Wrestling fans, the NWA is headed to New Orleans Saturday, November 12th for Hard Times 3 live on pay-per-view, and Sunday, November 13th as Wildcat Sports presents Revolution Rumble, an NWA Power Trip taping event. See NWA World Heavyweight Champion Trevor Murdoch, NWA World Women's Champion Camille, NWA World Television Champion and the Big Easy's own Tyrus, Taryn Terrell, Junior Heavyweight Champion Homicide, Matt Cardona, Max the Impaler, Luke and PJ Hawks, the Hawks RE, La Rebellion, and more. Hard Times 3 and the Revolution Rumble, November 12th and 13th, coming to you live from the Frederick J. Seeger Civic Center. Tickets and information available at NWATix.com. That's NWATix.com, or watch it from anywhere on Fight, the National Wrestling Alliance. Wrestling as it's meant to be.
There it is, November 12th and 13th, New Orleans. Guys, how are we feeling about it? We've got a lot, the cards shaping up. We've got a big triple threat main event. We're getting closer, and now we might have a TV title picture. How are you guys feeling?
I hate New Orleans.
Okay.
I'm excited. I can't wait for it. All I know is the Ill Begotten is not in the running for the TV title. So, I'm just going to put that out there. You know who is, though? Is that a segue? I was hoping that they would
I'm sure you're going to tell us.
No?
I don't know what you're segueing to. That's a vital
Guys,
part.
I'm breaking up.
Are you segueing here? Because we do have a United States Tag Team Championship match between the Fixers, current champions, and the Spectaculars with Rolando Freeman. So that'll be happening at Hard Times 2 Hard Times 3, in addition to the huge main event, the triple threat main event. We've got a few other things announced so far that we know. We know going into Hard Times in New Orleans, Taya Valkyrie is the #1 contender for the World Women's Championship. Will Camille be champ? That is TBD. There's a lot going on between now and November 12th. We also know that #1 contender for the Junior Heavyweight Championship is the future legend, Kerry Morton. Will Homicide be his opponent? That is also TBD. There's a lot of wrestling happening between now and November. A lot of wrestling that happened this past week. Do what?
He was talking about the TV title, and then he just stopped.
And if somebody says something about the TV, because I'm breaking up on this, and I don't know what's happening.
The only thing worse than Kyle normal is Kyle when he only can hear every other thing that you say.
I think it's Kyle on like a dial-up connection. Like, what's going on?
Yeah,
here,
he's
Kyle?
got the bunny ear antennas
you went back in
going.
time.
He's like SOS.
Guys, the service is really bad. Like beachside, even on the opposite coast of Florida where I am, has been devastating. The cell towers are still a little wonky. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm with you now. We're talking about the TV title. That was the big news this past week. As I mentioned earlier, NWA USA, which, guys, if you're sleeping on NWA USA, you need to stop. The last 3 or 4 weeks. The last 3 or 4 weeks.
But that's nice that you get to sleep in during Saturdays, though. Good for you guys. Live that life.
It's late. It's early. It's late enough. You can be up by noon. You can just roll over, turn it on your phone. Anyways, it's an expression. If you are not watching NWA USA every week, you're missing out because big things are happening every week. This week, no exception. As I mentioned, that vacated NWA television title, what's going to happen? We got that answer on Saturday when we saw two, not one, but two 5-way eliminator matches. Super exciting match. Go back and watch the whole thing. But if you missed it, this will set up where we're going to go with our guests coming up. So check this out.
The following match is a 5-person TV title qualifier elimination match.
Oh, and Mayweather was eliminated.
Mayweather has been eliminated.
Ricky Martin and Jack Stain
Rolled up. And
Jack Stain has been eliminated.
Can't be eliminated so quickly. And a spear by Mayweather.
Unleashed on Jack Stain. That burst now into the corner. Up.
Cazana up. Down.
Cover out Ricky Morton. And Ricky Morton's eliminated.
Ricky Martin has been eliminated.
Can't waste any time.
Got to bring out that
Get up there.
artillery.
We know he can fly.
Oh,
Break that arm.
Marche.
He's got it locked in.
Marche needs to use that free hand. He needs to use that free hand.
He's got to reach. He's got to reach.
Come on, Marche.
And the center fork attack.
Marche has been eliminated. The winner of this match, AJ Cazana.
Headed to the finals, perhaps one step closer to becoming the next NWA Television Heavyweight Champion.
The following match is a 5-person TV title qualifier elimination match.
He's hoping his tracks. Here comes. Oh my God.
That's the Midas touch. The Midas touch boot. It took Clearwater.
And Rush Freeman.
Max has been eliminated.
Wow. And look at the strike. Oh.
Covered by Pope.
Looking for an elimination here, and he gets it. He gets it on Rush.
Rush Freeman has been eliminated.
2 wrestlers down.
Sends him down.
Being decimated.
It is the TV title.
Yeah. You said.
Oh, look, Caprice.
Here we go.
The Pope has been eliminated.
For another Midas touch in this match, and he gets it. Oh my God, turn him inside out with a boot.
Brutal. Covered by Clearwater.
Can he do it? Can he do it? He does.
Hey, and I just
Caprice Coleman has been eliminated. The winner of this match, Jordan Clearwater.
And here they are, right here with us, the 2 men that took down 4 other men each to earn a shot at the NWA TV title. Right here below me, we've got AJ Cazana. How you doing today?
Fantastic, brother. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. And then we have your opponent coming up for the television title, the Golden Boy, Jordan Clearwater. Jordan, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking, and you're welcome to everybody watching this for the Golden Boy taking a few minutes of his time to join this, whatever you want to call this thing.
Panel.
It's called a live stream.
Panel, live stream, sure.
Yes. Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for taking the time out to talk to us. Both of you guys had to battle your way through 4 other competitors in the TV title division to earn this spot. AJ, we'll start with you. Tell me about that match. Tell me about your mindset coming out of the match. How do you feel going into this match with Jordan? He's sitting right here. You got a chance to talk to him.
My mindset going into that match was there's a lot of heavy hitters, a lot of history. There's a lot of weight in my match. I think Jordan had the lighter side of the bracket for some reason, but it is what it is. I just knew I had to find a way to squeak one out, and sure enough, I think Marche, Jordan's partner there, wasn't man up to hold on a little longer when I had him in the Kimura lock. So,
oh, gee,
it's very, very,
very nice to say.
Well, that's 2 old country gentlemen over, or the Gold Rush, something like that. But no, coming out of it, I'm feeling hot. I'm feeling better than ever. I'm ready to freaking go after it with Jordan. I look forward to going after it with Jordan. I like good competition, and at least he looks like some good competition. So,
Jordan, you hear what you said about your boy Marche? That's kind of nice.
Look, I watched the footage. We all just watched the footage. It's clear as day to me that Marche was just reaching for something on the mat. I mean, I think the ref made a mistake, me personally, but that's besides the point, because at least one half of Gold Rush is in competition for the world television title.
That's true, and I'm excited about this match. We don't have any official word about when this match is going to happen.
We don't need official word. We don't need any kind of official word because I want to lay out the challenge right now, AJ. I see you sitting there. I see you sipping on a beer. I'm sitting on water because I'm the golden boy, and that's what athletes do. So why don't you put your money where your mouth is and face me before hard times? I don't want to wait till New Orleans. I don't want to wait.
Whoa.
I say we set the challenge down now. Be a man. Step up.
Anytime, any place, big dog. Anytime, any place. Fix your camera. Make sure you got a tripod that works next time, and then we'll set a date and we'll get after it. That's all right.
That's fighting words. He's talking about your social media equipment.
You can be an athlete. The difference between me and you, baby, is that I'm a professional wrestler and I'm here to out wrestle and out manhandle you, really. So got no worries about it. Anytime you want to, big dog. I'm here for
All right. I would like to see that, AJ. And you can talk trash on my social media. I mean, I'm just sitting in this beautiful castle here. I mean, this painting behind me cost a couple $1,000. So, I mean, you see any artwork for you, but that just might speak to who you are. I mean, I came into the NWA destined to be champion, AJ. So it doesn't matter if it's next week, if it's this week. I'm going to be NWA Television Champion, and that's all there is to it.
Well, the sooner the better we get this match over with, the sooner I can move on with actual gold around my waist, so I don't have to call myself the Golden Boy.
Okay.
You mean to see? Are you guys saying that we might see this before the pay-per-view, like a power or something?
If he wasn't halfway across the country, you can get it right now.
Whoa.
I can agree to that. AJ, that's something you and I can agree on, actually, for once.
I'll take you out back in the alley and whoop you like your daddy should have 20 years ago.
Bet you would like me to take me out back, huh?
Well, guys, look, the match is definitely going to happen. Both of you guys, I wouldn't call you newcomers to the NWA anymore. You guys have been around the block with the National Wrestling Alliance, but this will be your first chance each at holding gold. And Jordan, you're the golden boy. What would it mean for you to not just hold that title, but just to hold National Wrestling Alliance Championship?
Well, let me correct something right there. I've been in the NWA for 2 years, and I've had many opportunities to hold gold, being the golden boy, right? I mean, just last week, I had an NWA United States Tag Team title match on NWA USA. And of course, it would mean everything to me to back up, as AJ said, to put some gold around the golden boy's waist. But again, it's not an if, it's a win for me, and it will be soon.
All right, AJ, what does it mean for you to be in this position?
For me, it's about bringing a legacy and building a legacy for my family. It's not so much about the chump that's lying across the ring from me. It could have been, it's Jordan Clearwater. It could have been any of the other five. But for me, it's building a legacy. It's building a name for my family that almost 100 years into this business that we can be proud of, and just to establish another 100 years. The NWA, man, these guys that held the title before me and that held the title before Tyrus and that's held it over the years are rough cut, tough men that are what professional wrestling is supposed to be about. And I think that's where I got the edge on Jordan there, is because I'm the type of tough man that professional wrestling is supposed to be about.
Jordan, what are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are simple. I mean, it's quite obvious, AJ, the only reason you're in the NWA is because of your family. I mean, let's face the facts. It's because of your mom, it's because of your dad, and it's because of your grandfather. I'm in the NWA because it's my birthright to be champion. I'm entitled to that championship, okay? So the only reason you're here is because of your family, and when I stand in that ring, you'll be staring across the main event player. And you know what? Next time I think about it, I wasn't even offered to be paid for this gig. You never even asked if Austin Idol would be sitting next to me, if G's would be sitting next to me. So I don't even feel comfortable continuing this conversation without my management. So next time you want me to do something for the NWA, pay me and bring management. I'm out.
Send me a t-shirt.
Damn.
Good riddance.
I'll send him a t-shirt. It'll be all right.
All right. Jordan Clearwater.
And AJ, he said he didn't earn your spot in the NWA. He said you earned his, he didn't earn yours. What do you think about that?
He said it's his birthright to be in the NWA. I don't know if he knows what I went through to get to this point in my life where I got the opportunity to perform at arguably, I guess, the second biggest pay-per-view for the greatest wrestling promotion in the world. But he obviously hasn't looked into my background, hasn't looked into what I've done in the past. Guys, I've only been wrestling 2 years, and I've worked my ass off to get to this point. And I know for a fact that that he didn't just talk about my mama, because my mom's got nothing to do with the wrestling business.
He did say something about your mama. If I was you,
Did you say you've only been wrestling for 2 years?
He's gonna ride his mouth's writing a check that his ass can't cash. Yeah, I've only been in the business for 2 years officially.
But you've been in the business your whole life.
Well, I mean,
like you said, the Cazana family has that.
We've got 100 years of legacy.
There.
It's instilled in me. It may be his birthright, but I've got professional wrestling, exactly running through my blood. So, I mean, my daddy, my grandfather definitely paved the way for a guy like me to get to where I'm supposed to be, but it's definitely hard work carrying that name and that just, for lack of a better word, that legacy of the Cazana family on my back.
Well, you took a detour through D1 football, though, first, right?
I did take a little detour into D1 football with the greatest university in God's green earth, the University of Tennessee. But, professional wrestling is where I feel like nobody deserves to be in professional wrestling, but I feel like I've earned it, and I feel like this is where I'm supposed to be in life. So for him to say all that I got it handed to me, he's it's got me a little tweaked a little bit. So you'll have to forgive me if I'm a little. Brother, nobody talks about mama without getting away with it. So he'll get what's coming to him.
I never had to do that. My mom was tougher than me.
My mom's tougher than me, but I don't let her fight those battles.
Danny's mom constantly was standing up for him and fighting his battles. Don't worry.
No, she wasn't. I just wasn't messing with her.
AJ, you mentioned you've only been around for 2 years, and that shocked me as well, just like Kyle, because you've come into the NWA. I really feel like you embody, what the NWA is all about, that smash mouth pro wrestling. Tell us about coming to the NWA, what that journey's been like, and what that's meant for the elevation of your career.
Oh, shoot, dude. I walked through the doors at Power Trip in Kentucky on a hope and a dream, just to get an opportunity to meet some people, get an opportunity to be a part of the National Wrestling Alliance in any capacity whatsoever. So walking in there with no expectations and no trying to find the right word for it, but no like preset, idea of what was going to happen. I just knew I needed to work my ass off and get to where I needed to be.
Preconceived notion.
That's
there
a
you go,
$7
Kyle. That's
statement
why you're a
right there.
broadcaster.
That's fantastic. He's a genius, is what he is. You're the smartest man on earth, aren't you?
Fucking idiot. Anyway, I think really the big deal of this is that you've obviously 2 years in. You just started with the National Wrestling Alliance. If I just started, the company's been around for 74 years, as your T-shirt says. Being here for just several months means just starting, already in title opportunity, something that people have climbed, clawed, turned on their own family members to try to do in the history of the entire industry here. And here you are in this opportunity. And I respect the fact that you appreciate that and realize that the sky's the limit for you, but you got to put in the work.
Very, very blessed to be in the position I'm in, but it's not just a blessing. It's hard work, but a little bit of luck comes along the way to be in positions like this. But you have to seize opportunities. That's a life lesson for anybody watching. You got to seize opportunities, especially if you're going after something you want. And hell, dude, I've seen the list of people that have held the NWA World Television title, and it would be an honor to be a part of that coalition of the ultimate males that held that title.
And, a lot of people might be thinking, well, where does that leave the country gentlemen? Obviously, you have a team there with Anthony Andrews and things. But many people also can remember that, Tony Blanchard, one of the greatest television champions of all time, was in the tag team with Art Anderson, another great television champion. So here you are. You have an ability to be a singles. You have an ability to be a tag champion. There's nothing that you can't do with the position you put yourself into. And now, absolutely. I do have to ask, though, how does Anthony feel about this opportunity as a singles competitor for you right now, though?
We haven't really talked about it that much, but if I know him like I think I know him, easy, Danny. If I know him like I think I know him, we're both happy for each other and any opportunities, any chance that comes our way, and we both want each other to be successful and to be as successful as possible in professional wrestling. So I'd like to imagine he's happy for me. I need to reach out to him, and we'll have a discussion about that. Game plan, Jordan Clearwater, game plan. Right. Yeah. Well, it is, and we.
You can make up for it right now.
You want me to call
You
him
win the
right
championship, you give him first dibs. No, you win the championship, you say right here, you give him first dibs. That'll make up for it, I think. Not going to cause any tag team dissension whatsoever right now, Kyle.
No dissension. He wants
Kyle booking the territory.
Kyle. Old Kyle.
He's a booker now. All right. I like it.
That 74 shirt is actually available in the bundle on the website.
Oh, do we have a deal today, Danny?
Oh, we definitely have a deal.
Oh,
yeah. Are there Danny deals?
Let me pull that up. That the shirt, like Mr. Cazana is wearing right now, is available as part of a bundle. And if you go there tonight, you can use the code STREAMNWAFAM and get 20% off everything.
Good for tonight only.
In the whole shop tonight only. Okay, so is that till midnight? Midnight Eastern.
What are those tats on the inside of the arm right there?
Well, I've got the city of Knoxville skyline tattooed from the Sun Sphere down to Henley Street Bridge.
That's not a big tattoo.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
And then I got my family name here and a little ambergram action. It says Fritz one way, family the other way. You guys haven't seen the one I got on my calf here.
Whoa,
I've seen that one.
I've seen it.
This is for you, Danny.
Yeah.
Now, just make sure you've discussed with your tattoo artist in case your likeness ever shows up in a video game, so your ass doesn't get sued. Because that's apparently going around a lot lately.
That's a thing, apparently. I feel like if your tattoo is I feel like it's public domain once it's on your body.
I would think the same thing as a man who's covered with tattoos. I wouldn't really think that anybody would be like, oh, by the way, when I put this on your body, it's on my understanding that you paid me for this, but I'm going to have a say about who sees it. Oh, man, I almost said, oh, never mind. I was going to say, we're always so concerned about everybody having a say over other people's bodies, but here we are, literally, somebody's in a litigation about the art they paid for being put onto their person and whether or not somebody else should have the right to see it.
That's crazy. Didn't that happen? Is that happening again? I knew it happened in like the NBA a couple years ago.
It's happening with Randy Orton right now.
Oh, gotcha. See, I don't. If Joe Galli doesn't commentate it, I don't watch it. So
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who that even is. But
then you're watching some filthy things because Joe Galli makes commentary on a lot of stuff that he sees on the internet. Let me tell you.
Oh boy, do I ever.
Well,
that was
AJ,
just about. I just want to make sure because I've been cutting in and out, guys. I'm sorry if we've tackled this already. It's exciting to think that literally you could be going into Hard Times 3 as the television champion. Now, I made the joke about, offering your tag team partner the first shot at it, but is there anybody in the National Wrestling Alliance? I don't want you to look past Jordan Clearwater. I want you to look at him, think about him, and defeat him. Is there anybody after that point that you would love to see, compete against you for the opportunity at that championship?
Man, I want to be a fighting champion. If I have this belt and this title around my waist, and I do have the title as a television champion, I feel like any and all challenges will be welcome.
Even Kyle,
even old ref Jared Fritz, if he wants to hop in the ring with me, that'd be fine too.
I think Jared Fritz has got a better opportunity to win than I do. Bad back, and he can chiropractic that type of stuff for himself. So he's good.
No, man. I mean, the whole locker room at the NWA is like I've said this on multiple podcasts in multiple areas, dude. It's top notch from top to bottom, and anybody that wants an opportunity or wants to step in the ring and go toe to toe, I would welcome that with open arms.
Yeah, and it seems like, big things are happening every week. We've got, especially with the TV title the past couple of weeks. And so for all this to come together with Tyrus, announcing that he's cashing in and then putting these 5-way eliminator matches into place. And now here we are a week later after a packed episode of NWA USA. We have you and Jordan going at it. And I'm super stoked about the match. Like we said, we don't know if it's happening at the pay-per-view. We don't know if it's happening before. We know you guys would do it right now.
I know that this happened in about 2 weeks from now, if I remember right, looking at the inside schedule here. So just make sure you're ready to go, because if I remember right on the little roster lineup sheet of upcoming stuff, you've got a match booked in about 2 weeks, I believe.
There you go.
Let's get it, baby. One thing you always have to remember, though, Kyle, is that
I'm just remembering. Remembering.
Remember, Kyle, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
It's true.
So, baby, I'm I'm to quote our Matt Cardona, I'm always ready.
There you go.
Just
There he
because
is,
winning
right back here.
points with Will right now.
Right back here. There he is.
he tends to get hurt every now and then nowadays. So that always ready thing. Maybe you want to be semi-ready at times because always ready, you tend to pull things and tear things.
I'm in peak physical condition right now, Kyle. Even with the bush beer in my hand, I'm ready to go. I'd go out,
Especially
and
with a bush beer in
Clearwater
your
in the freaking field out here around the cattle. I don't care either one. You can go there. You
Joe,
want to do it in a ring. It doesn't matter.
Joe, what was Bush's slogan again? I forget after hearing it so many times.
Head for the mountains.
Head for the mountains.
Bush.
For cool, refreshing bush. And Bush Light.
That was our
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. Must be 21 and over to enjoy responsibly.
God.
There you go, Joe. Get it in.
Listen, that's why he gets paid the big bucks.
But Bush is going to have to stop messing around and give me some kind of sponsorship, or I'm going to switch to PBR.
Ooh.
So,
I mean, that's the trick. Get those sponsorships. I see Tom Latimer running around with chicken by the pound and all sorts of other things every day. So, I mean,
absolutely.
that guy.
I'm just
Smart
asking
man.
for Bush beer and Wrangler. That's all I want. Free blue jeans for the rest of my life and free Bush. I think I'd be all right. I get my shirts from Danny Dealz, so what else do I need?
And if you do, make sure you use the code STREAMNWAFAM. That is tonight. Only 20% off. There's a lot of cool new stuff.
Slick shirt too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've got that shirt, but there's a lot of cool new stuff here in the store. And these in particular, Dealz, are these still pre-order?
Yes, they'll be here soon.
Okay, but I mean, look at this. Look at this lineup. I'm going to have to get that Zero hoodie. We've got a couple new colors in the logo T-shirt there. That lime green is popping. Yeah, my wife's going to kill me because I already have like a stack halfway up the wall of NWA shirts. But
we got an orange shirt. We got a pink shirt. Made just for October, both of them.
Dealz,
lime green
for a red, white, and blue trucker hat.
I think that you're gonna have to wait till July of next year. I think that's
that's a long time.
It's gonna be a June or July.
It'll be here before you know it.
Yeah. You got a little pearl snap shirt with the NWA logo on it.
I am getting some new hats though.
There you go. NationalWrestlingAlliance.com/shop. Use that code STREAMNWAFAM, 20% off. Danny, you're always so good to us and to all of our viewers. So thank you for that, sir.
All the dealyites.
All the dealyites. AJ, I'm so glad you were able to join us tonight, man. Thanks for hopping on. And I'm stoked to that match. Booker Kyle says it's 2 weeks from now. So
I appreciate you guys having me, man.
I've been through a traumatic experience, so my time's wrong. So hopefully I'm right.
Hopefully.
Would you go through a hurricane or something?
Yeah, it's what it is.
Well,
I think I'll have power and internet tomorrow, hopefully.
It was sunny and 63 in beautiful East Tennessee, so we've got plenty of room for you.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
If you ever want to go to that terrible state of Florida.
Yeah, Nashville, we're full, so don't come here.
Come to the mountains, Kyle.
All right, AJ. Well, good luck.
Appreciate you guys.
A couple of weeks from now against Jordan. We know there's no love lost here between you two guys. We saw it tonight. Maybe we'll get a follow-up with him, but he's ready to go. You're ready to go. I think we're all ready to see who the next television champion is going to be. AJ Cazana previously left us was Jordan Clearwater because he had enough of us and we didn't pay him enough. AJ, thanks for joining us, and best of luck.
Appreciate you, boys. Absolutely.
All right.
I think
Raising a bush.
Jordan Clearwater needs to have a match with Chick Donovan to see who the real Golden Boy is.
Oh.
My question is, what is Kyle eating? What do you
I have no idea. It's like
some
ice
ice cream
down there.
So yeah, we don't have any.
Are you eating dog
electricity,
food like in the Road Warrior?
No, my wife just came back and she handed me a little mini Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
Aw,
This is dinner.
that's cute.
Oh, yum.
Oh, it's already
Sounds
melted.
delicious.
Yeah,
You gotta
sure
eat
is.
that. Come on, dude. It's Florida. You don't got time for that.
Well, we talked about the TV title qualifiers. We just talked to the guys that won it. Like I said, a lot of stuff happening on TV this past week. Let's jump into NWA Power because I thought it was a really fun episode of Pretty Empowered Surge. How'd you guys feel about that episode? I know, Joe, you and Kyle were part of it.
I couldn't stop doing that.
I mean, if you had told me the chemistry that Kylan King would have with Pretty Empowered, I feel like she needs to be the fourth member of Pretty Empowered. Lua, don't lick that.
I feel like I'm upset that Alex didn't get to kill Sal and he's still breathing.
That was going to be the next topic of conversation because Dealz, you were there, but we did see. Let me get this name right. The Strange Bedfellows match. Dealz, did they take you aside and let you know what that meant going into the match, or what the?
No, we didn't care. We just knew that the Miserably Tasteless were going to be there with Count Chocula, and they tried to kill us in St. Louis. And so we knew we had
strange bedfellows in his day that he brought prophylactics. He was prepared.
Yeah. We knew we had to tag up with the Brady Bunch, and I told Tattoo to stay out of the way. And they, as usual, didn't come through. But, we're still looking to get our hands in the Miserably Faithful. I think they're scared of us. So we're probably going to have to we're just going to track them down and stalk them and eventually put stakes in their heart. It'd be nice to do it in October because that's Jim Mitchell's favorite month, probably.
I've seen Alex Taylor's socials, and this is personal. I mean, he literally has expletive-laden things about murdering Sal Rinauro on there all the time.
They tried to kill us. I almost died, too. It's a good thing Plunky didn't. And that little Gimp prick and Frankenberry and all them dudes.
Well, I was going to ask you about that.
I think they're scared of us. I think they're scared because it's not like Medusa, the GM, hates me. So she would definitely put us in a match with them again because she would like to see us die. So I think they're scared of us, and they've asked her not to put in another match with them. That's what I think it is. So we're just going to catch them wherever.
I was going to ask you about that. For those of you who haven't watched NWA USA or Pretty Empowered Surge, actually, from last week, this was a Strange Bedfellows match that saw Jeremiah Plunkett, Alex Taylor, the Ill Begotten, team up with the Spectaculars, which I thought was interesting. Rush, a former member of the Ill Begotten. So you guys, it was like the deck was stacked against you all around because then you were facing the Dirty Sexy Boys teamed up with Sal and Gags the Gimp.
We didn't have heat with Dance Fever either. We didn't have heat with those boys. And being out there with the Spectaculars, I mean, that makes it a handicap match because, they're the worst. So, yeah.
I mean, you get the man out of the Ill Begotten, you try to get Brady Pierce to join, and all falls apart. They go tag team.
I didn't try to get him to join. Plunkett tried to sign him to a free agent deal, but he
couldn't read. You don't have a say in what happens with the Ill Begotten?
Yeah. He tried to sign to a free agent deal. And he can't read, so he didn't sign it. And he's hanging out with Rush and Tattoo.
Hard times in New Orleans. I mean, look at them. NWA United States Tag Team title.
Oh, that's going to be a barn burner, isn't it?
Right choice.
Yeah, that's a barn burner right there. Look out. That's going to last about 2 minutes. Jay Bradley and Wrecking Ball are going to kill him about 2 minutes.
Wow. You're going to have to tune in to find out. Hard Time 3 New Orleans, November 12th. Go to NWATix.com or order out of fight if you can't be there. Frederick J. Seeger Civic Center, Chalmette, Louisiana, right outside of New Orleans. Ladies and gentlemen, be a part of it. Live and in person. Ice cream is delicious.
I'm gonna put you on solo here.
Yeah.
Hearing you talk through your AirPods.
I love Kyle Cushing out here. Don't lose your AirPod again.
I'm not going in the ocean.
He's not in the ocean.
It's still
no. The ocean's coming to you. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it receded. The dunes are gone. I'm glad that sea turtle season's over because I was worried about the sea turtles because the place that they would nest in is no longer there anymore. Yeah, it's a thing. I lucked out and I did not get the brunt of the storm. By the time it hit us, it was the end of a Category 1 in tropical, but still, for all those people that were greatly impacted, mine is a trivial impact, but those people whose lives were irrevocably changed or lost, my heart goes out to you guys because you don't really know how bad a situation is till you get a fraction of it and realize, holy shit. So this times 5, I can only imagine, and obviously the rescue efforts and people's rebuilding and everything, I really hope for the best, and I hope that the opposite coast to me can recover fully in time.
You know what, Will? I forgot that Kyle was down there. I was trying to call him to ask him a question. He didn't answer. He didn't call me back. So this prick, right? He's a Northeaster. I totally forgot he's in Florida. And so Joe had called me. He goes, he's in Florida, you dumb shit. And I was like, oh, I forgot. Yeah.
My exact words.
Words. I can hear it.
No, it was more professional than that. You know, Joe, he's always,
the one thing we didn't plan for.
He said the same words. It just sounded more professional.
Yeah.
Cell service, guys.
He was like, well, Dealz actually right now, Kyle is in the eye of the storm down in Florida. So he's not available to answer, but I can answer you.
Well,
Joe Uncut here, he
Kyle,
would have said,
Kyle
hey,
looks
dumb
like he's in the
dicks,
black
he's in
hole
Florida.
right now. He's in the black hole right now. Black hole slam.
Hold
Yeah.
on, I
There he
have
is.
solar
There he
lights
is.
outside.
Hey,
I also have solar lights, so I can always.
he's
just
using a
illuminate my
lantern now.
face with a
He's
solar
using a
light.
lantern.
Time for some scary
Just
stories.
hover
with
over
Kyle.
that the whole time.
Scary
Campfire
stories with Kyle.
tales. Campfire tales with Kyle. Book
Come on,
the
Crypt
territory
Keeper.
more for us.
Oh man,
Look at brother. Look at.
I was just walking around.
Yeah.
This is the NWA Weekly, everybody.
On good light.
Well, let's
Sorry,
get into
guys. Usually
some
we're
of the other
much
stuff
more
that happened on
professional
the
than this.
pretty empowered surge. Because aside from this strange Bedfellows match, it kicked off with Maddie versus Marty Bell, a strange singles competition for Marty. Her and Allison Kay have been doing this a lot more recently, and I don't know if that's a signal of anything. The Hex being a pretty solid and consistent tag team in the NWA.
Stuff. That's what I think.
What'd you say?
I think you're just trying to start static. That's all you're trying to do here.
I'm just listen. Gary's not here. Somebody's got to stir the pot.
That's
So-
true.
Do you want me to stir the pot? I can stir the pot.
Who
Usually you
said that?
do,
We
but you're
wouldn't
on
be
a
able to see
delay and you're like,
You
Who
look
said
like
that?
you're in the pot. You're in the cauldron. There's
Hold on,
Yeah,
hold on,
that's
hold
the
on.
way
I got a good one. I got two ways to stir the pot.
Okay.
All right, here we go. After losing several times to Pretty Empowered, one has to think. Do you reevaluate
It
your
was
life?
several.
You look
I
at
think
each
it was
other and say, "That's I'm not good with like things
I
like
think
that's
that."
a couple.
I think they lost
A
twice,
couple.
but 3 matches.
They lost. Yeah, but regardless of that, you have to reevaluate things. You have to look at each other and say, "Is this really working out?" And with AK being a former NWA World Women's Champion, she's got to look at her partner and think, "Maybe I can do better on my own."
Oof. I don't know that she
By the
would
way,
say that.
I
but
fear Marty Bell and AK, so I'm just stirring the pot. I don't mean it. Please don't hurt me.
I'm gonna text both of them when I get off here and tell them what you said.
She has a katana, right? We
Yeah.
had to, AK has a katana that we had to tell her not to bring to the ring.
Yeah.
At
AK
74,
is
'cause she was going to bring it. It's
Yeah.
a katana.
She ain't scared of
And
shit. We
think
had
what
high
would have happened if she brought that katana. They can be NWA World Women's Champions in jail right now.
And in prison for murder.
That's a hell of a
Yeah.
finish, though, isn't it?
I think you have to
You're
vacate
kicking
the
out of that
titles
shit.
if you get.
What's your finish? Decapitation.
This is Mortal Kombat.
Finish her.
It is October. It is Hex season. So you know what? Maybe who knows? I'm just saying this could be their time of year.
Look at this. Joe Freeze for everybody.
Yes. About damn.
Morton Wrestling Apparel, everyone. Joe Galli. Official sponsor.
That's before iPhones, and you couldn't take more than one shot, and that's the
Oh,
shot
I'm
that
back.
everybody got.
Hey,
Oh, now he's
everybody.
back. There you are. Sorry, we were looking at your freeze frame. It
Was I
nice.
doing something stupid? Like,
Yeah, you were just
It
talking.
just looked like you were the epitome of this.
What else happened on the show, Will?
Oh
Be
man, a lot of
frozen
stuff.
again?
A lot of stuff happened. A lot of stuff. Let me look at my notes. We had Basia 666 versus Rhett Titus, which
It was a singles match. Why don't you stir that up there, Kyle? One of the werewolves by themselves.
Well, that's got some implications coming up tomorrow night as well, because there's been a lot of.
Titus has been a tag team champion in every company he's ever been in. And who's to say that going up against Bestia isn't just his way of getting the foot back in the door, reclaiming the gold in a company that he's never won it in yet?
And you're just always going to put over your cousins, aren't you?
Listen, I broke in with Rhett, so I'm always going to put Rhett over.
Well, at least he's honest about it.
Well, all night.
Why?
Right?
So an
More storm clouds.
interesting match that I would love to get you guys take on. We had an interesting handicap match, so to speak. We had the national champion Scion going against the now pretty established tag team as of late in the NWA. I don't know if they thought he was going to have a partner. It was an interesting dilemma. What were you guys' takeaways from that?
Well, they won.
My takeaway from that is, I was just going to say, the pride cometh before the fall. I think it's fantastic that Austin Allen's trying to live vicariously through his son, Scion, with his championship aspirations and the fact that he is a champion now. But putting him out there and trying to put him in situations, even if it's to prepare him for anything and everything at any time, it could backfire. It looked like the man walked away from that match injured. Now, how bad of an injury that is anybody's guess, but with the weeks still to come before the pay-per-view and he has to defend, You know, we have the national title qualifying tournament going on, so he doesn't even know he's going to be facing. It's a wild card, and if he's injured, that's two different things going up against this man. Idol could be sabotaging his own son unintentionally, or worse yet, what if it is intentional?
You got to put over your Northeast cousins a little bit more. I'm surprised you didn't go crazy right there.
Well, because I never hung out with the Now. The Now was in a different group of Northeast for me. I'm appreciating where they're from now.
Distant cousins.
From now.
Not first
Distant
cousins.
cousin. It's like when every time I get a hit on my 23andMe and I'm like, fourth cousin, Jesus, if I was in the Crown, I could be married to these people and never know it.
And I think you'd take the name Delicious.
Yeah.
It'd be Kyle Delicious.
Kyle Delicious.
I love the spelling.
That's already what I call him.
It definitely, you know, when it's just a bunch of I's and S and H's instead of a C, or Delicious is the right spelling on that. Kyle Delicious.
Well, I bring that up too because it didn't look like Sion really wanted to leave the match. The match ended in a count out. So yes, technically the victory goes to the Now, but I mean, it looked like a little bit of, I wouldn't say dissension, but just, you know, Austin Idol was pushing him away, and
he's testing his son.
Yeah, but I mean, like from Sion's point of view, I mean, he didn't back down from the fight. He didn't want to back down from the fight. You know, he's interested in winning every match he's in. So it's just a little bit of, you know, one hand's doing one thing, the other hand's doing another.
That when a father challenges his son to make him better, it always ends well for the family, and usually doesn't end up and leading to like lifelong resentment or emotional trauma. That's okay. By the way, I grabbed one of the spotlights from the garden. I'm with you now.
Perfect.
Ooh, he's got a lantern now.
That's the best lighting you've ever had.
Jason or something. Like, this is gonna be great. There's just gonna, speaking of that machete, it's just gonna come right through his chest in a second.
You look like the brother that's on here. I'm doing a hammered double feature here. This is one of the Frankie movies. They just took a body out of the grave with a lantern. That's what you look like. You look like that brother.
Oh yeah, lantern guy.
Yeah. He usually doesn't make it.
Oh, it's bright. Now I can't see.
This is blinded himself. Oh my god.
He's gonna run into something.
Oh my god. He's gonna run into an alligator. He's gonna take his leg.
Actually, I did just run into something. I don't know if you can see that. I forgot those were on the ground.
Gosh.
Let me turn this into a horror movie.
I'm praying for alligator. Come on, alligator.
Could you imagine?
Lake Placid, totally.
Well, that kind of scared me. Legit.
Oh, cute. Oh.
He's cute.
You guys remember that movie, Lake Placid? I enjoyed that. I think
I did. I like the
was
first
an okay
one.
movie.
I like the first one. There's like 7 of them.
Oh man, the first
I'm not
one's
even
the
kidding.
good one. Right.
But the first one, yeah, because 1990s Bridget Fonda was, yes.
This does have kind of a Blair Witch thing going on right now, doesn't it?
Yeah, you gotta go up your nose.
Yeah, get the camera close to your nostrils and start crying, telling everybody you're sorry about what happened. Kyle Donahue, there he is. You know, I had to get tickets for that thing in the theater like hours before it was like on opening weekend. I had to get it for hours before the showing because people thought it was a shoot. It was crazy.
Oh yeah,
there was people sitting on the floor in the theater.
I was talking about that the other day. How, you know, back then, I mean, we had internet and stuff, but still, like,
nobody
I went into it not really
I
knowing
was
if it was
never
real or not. I mean,
Yeah.
I was like a teenager, so not as.
The second one wasn't very good.
Yes, it was. Stop it.
Although I did like Kim Director. She was like a gothy crush for me at the time.
No, Book of Shadows is a good movie. It's a fine film. Don't deter people from that, Kyle. Unnecessary sequels are always the best.
Well, back to NWA, pretty empowered Surge, because we did get the gift of being able to see one of the women's title matches from NWA 74, and that was Camille versus Max the Impaler, and that was a hell of a match. And it seems like every time we do this, the common denominator is Camille. She's, you know, brings the house down every night in these title defenses. And we've talked about it a lot in the past, but, you know, this match was just another feather in her cap for how dominant of a champion she is. She's faced all types of people coming up and wanting a shot at that title, and she's come out victorious in every single one of them. And I'm actually starting to believe, not that I didn't before, but the one-time champ tagline that at this point, I don't know if anybody can beat her. I really don't.
No,
I mean, she had a
crazy.
strong showing. Yeah, 100%. And then at the same point, I think that, there's a lot of people, a lot of the discussion out there throughout the entire NWA 74 in looking at that entire 2 night of matches. And you're looking at you want to pick the best matches. Camille's in the top 2. It's hard to argue that too. So
And number 1 was our match.
Yeah. There you go. Of course. But other than that, I think the other thing you got to keep in mind is there's all this heat that she has with her latest competitor, which was also her competitor for night 1, which is Taya Valkyrie. Camille's going to be heading into Taya's home turf and challenging for the Reina de Reinas Championship. I believe that's October 14th. So that's coming up, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a fan of seeing Camille in action, she's heading down to AAA to challenge Taya for that. And we now know that Taya is going to be the number 1 contender for the Burke. So we could have a situation where we could have two
double
athletes,
champion,
and then trading double championships. I mean, that's just what's so great about the NWA, in particular, our women's division, is it's bringing the best of the best, especially when it comes to the women in the sport of professional wrestling. And that's what I really like to see. And I think that's one of the shining factors. I think that's one of the big reasons why tickets are going so fast, because they know they're going to see a great show, whether it's the men or the women or whatever, at Hard Times and at Revolution Rumble. We're going to bring it because we do it every time.
Yep. And you mentioned tickets going fast. I don't know if you guys have an update on that, but if you do want tickets and you do want to make the trip to New Orleans, or you're going to be in the area, head over to NWATix.com. It is a 2-night event. Both events are in the same place, that Frederick J. Sigor. How do you say it, Kyle?
Sigor. Civic Center?
Yeah, Civic Center. So NWATix.com to check that out.
Chalmette, Louisiana, right outside of New Orleans. It's a quick hop, skip, and a jump for you, ladies and gentlemen. And if you like the balcony, congratulations, because that's the seats you're going to have to get, because you are waiting and holding out when you should be jumping on this right this very instant. If you have a cell phone signal, if you have power, if you have money in your pocket, go on there right now. Get those tickets. Get to New Orleans. Let me tell you something. You're going to miss one hell of a show if you're not there live and in person.
Sounds like Kyle won't be there. Doesn't have any of those things.
Yeah, you just named off. If you have the things that I don't have, go get to.
Just a disembodied head. I'm just going to show up. I'm going to be like Jambi. You're just going to open up a box, and I'm going to be there and be like, "Hi."
Well, the only correction, and I know what you meant, because experience in the NWA Live is unlike anything else. But if you don't get tickets, you can still watch the first night of Hard Times and the second night, just not live, because that will be broadcast on pay-per-view on Fight TV. So make sure you go over there and check that out. If you're not going to make it to New Orleans, at least join us on there and watch Hard Times 3 as it happens. Because like I said, I mean, the only real we got 2 matches announced, but that triple threat for the World Heavyweight Championship, I mean, that I still can't figure out in my mind. Obviously, I want Matt Cardona to win, but I can't. It's like I can't do the math problem how this is going to all work out and who's going to do what in this match. So I'm super intrigued by that main event. But in the coming weeks, we're going to have a lot more to talk about.
I want to make sure that you get in trouble some way, shape, or form on this. Who's the one person you don't want to win no matter what?
Who's the in that match?
Yeah.
Oh God. I mean, you know who I want to win, right?
That wasn't the question.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a moot point because I mean, Cardona's coming out. He's reclaiming the belt, man. He's coming back out. He's right back here. He's the champion.
He's gonna get him
He's
mad
got
if
confidence
he says
that Cardona's going to win the
He
strap.
knows he's gonna get him mad if he says it.
See, you know what? That's well known. That's well
somebody's
known.
gonna get mad.
He's producing the show because I feel like Gary would have put his foot in his mouth.
Well, I'm actually trying to think like Gary. I'm trying to be more neutral. Obviously, I've
don't
got
do that.
my
Come on
allegiance
now.
over here.
Gary would have been all like, I just don't know if Trevor Murdoch's got it. And you'd be like, what the hell, Gary?
Well, Matt Cardona's winning the title. I just don't know how that equation is going to work out and how it's going to happen.
He posted online that when he wins, he's going to give Rolando the first shot at the gold in order to shut him up. So we could see Cardona Rolando rematch for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
I think Cardona Rolando 3 is what everybody really wants.
It's going to be like AJPW back in the day. It's going to be like a Champions Carnival match against Misawa and Kobashi. That match is going to go 60 minutes, head drops, all sorts of madness. But that only happens if Matt Cardona wins the gold at the pay-per-view.
Good rundown, Blair Witch, Kyle. It just fades into the darkness when he's done. That's a good way to let us know you're done talking.
He's turned around staring at the wall now.
Well, we've got a big night of power coming up tomorrow night. Some of the things that we already know about that have been alluded to, and some of the things that we talked about on NWA USA this past week. So I've got a couple of things just to kind of get our minds right to get us ready for tomorrow night. We know a couple of things thanks to Kyle Davis in the control center. He's not in the control center right now, as we can see, but
he might be. There's no power in it.
Yeah.
How do we know? How do we know the control center is in Florida? It could be anywhere. It could be anywhere, and the fact that there's probably not going to be one on this week's Power is definitely not a sign that it takes place in Florida.
Yeah, I mean it's like Wrath of Khan. Remember, they didn't have any power on the bridge for half the movie. That's what Kyle was.
So there's a couple things we know that are happening tomorrow night. One of those was announced on NWA USA. There's been a lot of friction for some reason, between Odinson and Flip Gordon and Nick Aldis. And so May Valentine caught up with him on NWA USA and let us know that they are going to face off, Odinson and Flip Gordon, tomorrow night on Fight. So let's hear what he had to say.
Please welcome Odinson. Odinson, you seem to be really aggressive lately, attacking Nick Aldis and Flip Gordon repeatedly. And now, because of this, you have a match against Flip Gordon on the next episode of Power.
Now you see something. Odin loves violence. So that is my ticket to Valhalla. Violence. Nick and Flip have got a taste of what's in store for them. The son of Gordon will find out tonight firsthand about the kind of violence Odin has bestowed upon me. And you will all witness.
Weren't you suspended because of this? And are you suspended now?
If I was suspended, would I be standing with you right now answering these stupid questions?
I guess not. Okay. Talking about Flip Gordon, what can we expect in a matchup with him? I mean, assuming you're going to abide by the rules.
You can expect the son of Gordon to do all these magical, special, high-flying, super cool, awesome moves. And you can expect the son of Odin to deliver the caliber of violence that I am capable of. And like I said, you all will witness tonight, because I am the one who grabs the sun. I am the one who is awaited, shiny and chrome. By his hands I am lifted, by my deeds I honor him. Hail Odin! Hail Asgard!
I like that he mentioned shiny, because right now shiny is a very important aspect of WPC's 33 podcast. Make sure you're tuning in on Tuesdays. The son of Odin talking about that. Son of Dealz. Who do you think's got this one?
Well, let's go. I got to get the betting lined up. I'm going to take Otis because brother's jacked. And he eats spray paint. And there's something wrong with him.
That's weird.
I feel like Flip plays by the rules too much, although he flips a lot. But, I don't know. Anybody who eats spray paint kind of creeps me out. So we're going to go with Odie right now.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you're saying he might not actually be the son of Odin. It might just be the spray paint, and he's got some kind of brain damage from this point?
I mean, maybe. It's like the brothers in Fury Road, right? They ate the gimmick and said,
maybe there's just pre-workout in it. I mean, this obviously it's the gym a lot.
Obviously.
My narrative is that Odinson is just he's been huffing paint, and he's just some insane guy that thinks he's the son of Asgard, and that makes it even more scary and dangerous.
Look, I gave him a T-shirt.
He's delusional.
I gave him a T-shirt, and he sneezed, and the whole thing ripped off. So, he's brother's jacked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, whether it's the spray paint or not, whether he's all there or not, he's very dangerous, and he's shown us that. And whatever's going on between him and Flip and Nick, man, it is going to be violent tomorrow. There's no way that there's going to be a match, but it is going to be interesting to see the two styles, come together. He even mentioned it in that interview. Joe, how are you feeling going into this, and what do you think we're going to see as far as the clash of the styles here?
Well, it's exactly, styles make fights. And I think that what you're going to see there is something that's, very interesting to see. You've got Flip Gordon, who obviously has the speed advantage, arguably has an experience advantage as well. But Odinson, I think the other problem with Odinson is, ever since he's really focused on being a singles competitor, he's trying to find his place in the NWA. Obviously, like any professional wrestler or any son of a god, you want to be able to have gold. You have to have that status symbol that comes along with it. So there's no better way than taking out somebody like Flip Gordon or taking out somebody like Nick Aldis to send a message that, you're here, you're to be taken seriously, and you're coming to dominate. So I think it's actually a really important match for Odinson. But on the other hand, Flip Gordon, he's got to be pissed about what happened at 74. And he's not going to take it lying down. This is unreal Flip Gordon. This guy is probably in the best shape he's ever been in his life, and I think that's saying something. So I like the clash of styles that you're going to have, because that's going to make for a very interesting fight.
Yep, that's true. And there's a comment here. Scott in the chat was bringing up my next point. It's going to be a fun match, but can't wait to see the women's title match. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Genocide versus Camille is a non-title match, correct?
That is a non-title match.
Still exciting, but it's a non-title.
I don't need to correct you because you're not wrong.
Okay. That's all I needed. Thanks.
You're welcome.
I was hearing in the background.
It's your show.
A moment there where Will, I thought that you paid like one of those character artists at one of the Disney stops that Cardona and Kelsey went on. And I thought you literally paid somebody to be like, can you make a copy of that for me? I'm a big fan.
No, I bought this from the Deal Machine. This was from
I know.
National Wrestling Shop. Shows how much you check in.
No, I have bad Wi-Fi because I don't have Wi-Fi. It's on a cell thing. So from the act on, I was like, oh. And I thought you were that type of guy that would pay a character.
Kyle with his excuses. Oh, excuses, Kyle.
Kyle's rubbing two sticks together over there to keep the power going.
Hey, what I do with my 2 sticks when nobody's around is nobody's business. I'll rub those sticks together if I want.
Right now, isn't it?
Friction.
We don't know what you're
anyway,
doing. You're nothing but a head and hands. That's all you are at this moment.
That's the Thor's hammer.
So let's get back to this match, because title or no title, it's still a big match. Genocide has been a name that has constantly come up in conversation when you talk about people that could go up against and go toe-to-toe with Camille. But it's going to be a non-title match. I know it's still a huge opportunity for Genocide. Danny, what do you think about this match? What do you think? Not even necessarily the outcome, but the implications just for the women's division to have a match like Genocide versus Camille.
Well, if Genocide wins, doesn't she automatically get a title match or move up to the rankings? Right? Isn't that how it's supposed to work?
That's how it's supposed to work. Yeah, I don't think that's been explicitly announced, but I don't see how there could be an argument.
I don't think it needs to be announced. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. And anybody who follows Genocide on social media knows that she's already had a recent taste of gold, becoming the Mission Pro Wrestling Champion in San Antonio, Texas, just a few days ago. I happened to be there for that show where I was doing some ring announcing. And I think that, once you get a little taste of that, no matter where you are, the hunger just grows for that. So she's going to really not only want to step up to Camille and show what she's got, as she's done in the past, but she wants to send a message that she's a championship caliber wrestler. She already has gold somewhere else. She wants to win gold here in the NWA. And at the very least, it has to put her into conversation. If it's not for the NWA World Women's Championship, we are always talking, and we haven't had any big announcement for this, but we're going to have an NWA Women's Television Championship that's going to be coming soon, too. So every match matters.
Why did you bring that up?
Because we've already announced that it's happening.
Everybody's going to
said it.
Now. When is the match happening? When is it? We can't tell them all the information. There's stuff going on, folks, that maybe
it's the anticipation, Kyle. It's the foreplay. It's
I
all
just
of
call
that
it chat right
to
now.
It's supposed to make it
They're going to give us free from
tantalizing.
the chat.
Well, also,
Let's talk about tantalizing.
Also, what if Genocide hurts Camille in the match? Does that affect her going into the paper?
You were going
might get softened up.
Kyle's got to be watching.
Softened
That's
up.
what I was going to say. Genocide could change the course of history. She could steal the opportunity of Camille being able to be double gold on this one. She could change the entire course of Camille's trajectory for the next several months. This match, even though it's non-title, there's more than that at stake.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Texas, Joe, you know the IB boys were at the Texas Troubadour Theater this past weekend.
Oh, where
it was
they?
located. It's located in Nashville, though. So. Yeah.
Oh well, there you go.
I don't know why it's
where are
called
my
Texas.
tickets?
It seemed like it was a good show. You guys.
We got cameraman. Listen, I'm tired of this, all right? Medusa keeps sending these emails. Oh, she's sending us on NWA loops. Where are we at now? What the hell kind of place is this? Tony Falk, you're the guy here. I need you to fix this. What are we here for? This goofy match. You need to fix it.
Fix it? Okay, I want to fix it.
Yeah. Right,
you know what? Now it's a 6-man. You in the match. How does that grab you? Yeah.
What are you doing? I even wore his waffle and tire iron shirt on television. You believe this? I'm faxing the office.
Yeah,
You're lucky you
Medusa
didn't get
got us
the
once
tire
again with the with her gimmick booking sheet that she likes to do, and I would like to add that my fax to the office was not answered, and that we were cheated in the match. And
Joe, do we
that's
have
all I
a
have to
fax
say
machine
about
in the
that.
office?
Yeah, I was about to say I don't think we have one. How do you answer a fax? Do you send a fax back?
No, there's one. You got to use.
Can I
the
send you a
keys.
carrier pigeon?
But yeah, Medusa keeps sending
Smoke
us
signal,
on these runs to all these weird towns. At least this
You
one
know
was
what? You know what
civilized.
it is,
It was
Dealz?
in
Dealz,
Nashville.
the fax machine is in the Florida office. I think that's the problem. That's where it got
The old
lost.
NWA
There's no
Florida
Wi-Fi.
office.
Yeah, it's a
See,
Florida office.
at least Medusa's been sending us to all these wacky places, but at least this time it was in Nashville, so it was civilized. You know, there was electricity, there was power, buildings, internet, and stuff like that.
Good
But
people.
we were cheated, but we did get to beat up David Young, so that was good. That was good. Yeah.
Oh, did you take his spine buster?
No, Alex took it. Yeah. That wasn't
the guy with the bad back. Huh?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
That wasn't planned. They listen. You don't understand. They totally disobeyed.
I'm
the
sure
rules
if we
of
go to the
six-man
footage,
tag.
Dealz
They
shoves
didn't
him
tag.
into it.
Listen, I was pinned, and I don't think I was a legal man. In fact, I know I wasn't.
You're ever the legal man.
Yeah.
I wasn't,
Oh,
and I was pinned.
there it is. The drama. If you want to keep up with that, make sure you're following Dealz and the other IB boys on social media, because you will get.
Get one of these shirts too. You don't know how many of these shirts we sold there that night. It's ridiculous.
It's beautiful. So it's one of my favorite shirts I've ever bought. But let's get back to tomorrow night because we are running out of time. And listen, this show might have been still kind of all over the place, but with me in control, we're going to end on time. That's
all right.
So we got a couple more minutes. Do what?
Even if it's mid-sentence, we're going to end on time.
Yeah, it's just going to gravy cake. We're gone.
Gotta make it.
Love it. More of that.
But a match I'm really interested in is we've got La Rebellion with Damian Sace going against Rhett Titus teaming up with your other cousins there, Kyle, the OGK. And
Oh wow, this will be Kyle cousin overload.
A pretty big match.
That's a brother overload right there, brother.
In my opinion, a lot of overtones for the tag team division, even though it's a 6-man tag match. And on NWA USA on Saturday, we heard from La Rebellion. So let's check out what they had to say with Damian Sace on NWA USA.
Please welcome La Rebellion. Guys, your road with the NWA World Tag Team titles has been really interesting, to say the least. What mountains do you feel you still have to climb in the NWA?
Así es, muy interesante. Han pasado de todo. Ha pasado de todo, pero la rebelión ha demostrado que simplemente somos los mejores y nadie se nos compara aquí en NWA.
And Damian, thank you so much for being here today. It's an honor to have you. I'm sure you must be really proud of your son. So can you talk about how proud you are of him and also your own legendary career?
Bueno, para mí es un honor estar en esta empresa junto con mi hijo. Una empresa grande y ellos son grandes. Así es que aquí hay campeones para mucho tiempo.
You say controversial, mate. That's kind of crazy and funny to me because the only thing that matters is a number. A really easy and simple number. 287 days. 287 days, La Rebelión held down the tag team division in the NWA, and that's why all these teams are coming from the woodworks and every kind of company so they could be here to face the best team of all time. That's why we're a two-time NWA Tag Team Champions of the world, May Valentine. And guess what? We will continue to be champions for a long time to come, because there is not one team in this company and any company that is better than us in front of these cameras, in this microphone, or in that ring. Porque la rebelión amarilla somos amados, odiados, pero nunca igualados.
Muchas gracias. Thank you, guys.
They're the champs. Like I said, it's not a tag team match, but you got to think there's huge implications here with them and the OGK. I mean, the OGK is a team that's been around for a while, and people have been clamoring for them.
Impact Tag Champs. Impact Tag Champs.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's got to be the overtone here, even though it's a 6-man match. And, you know,
I'm putting money on the Northeast brothers. And Matt is he's an educated man, so he knows that you got to use silver to take down the werewolf crew. So
that's a good point. That's a good point. But, you know, people have been clamoring for it. I've been clamoring for it. You know, even going back to the previous title reign from La Rebellion, that was, you know, something that everybody wanted to see. And we know from talking to OGK on several occasions that they are ready for it. You're holding me to my word. So we're going to go around. We're going to make quick predictions. Danny, you've already given yours. Joe, what do you think?
Ooh, you know what? With Damien says there, he's in the match. It's going to make things a little bit difficult for him to kind of cut that corner and spray the mist. But at the same point, he's actually in the match and could do the mist. I'll give it to La Rebellion. I'll give it to La Rebellion. I'll give it to the Jams.
Kyle?
I got to say, the mist is the difference maker. And also, let's face it, I mean, LWO for life. I'm going to go.
Are you not picking your
Rebellion.
cousins? I don't believe it. You know the kingdom has held belts all over the world.
Being realistic.
Stabbing him in the back.
You just gave me grief. I mean, watching it full of Danny Dealz. That's right.
Well, I'm with you guys. I think La Rebellion, they're just on a different level with this second reign, and they're going to come out and make it happen. But I do think, like I said, there's overtones here. I think OGK makes a statement at least, and you know, maybe it spills over into that feud. One more thing that we do know is going to happen that Kyle let us know from the Control Center is that we're going to hear from Trevor Murdoch, the champ. So he's been going through a lot. He was here on this show last week, so we heard from him then, but we're going to hear from him tomorrow night on Power. So make sure you're subscribed on Fight TV to watch Power tomorrow night, or on YouTube later on. And any last thing before we go?
Yeah, if anybody here is a fan of podcasts, which obviously you are because you're watching or listening to this, WPC 33 comes up with a new episode tomorrow, Tuesday, where we're interviewing a very incredible young artist in young blood. So you want to tune in for that. And we've got a really big star coming up next week. I'm not going to give anything away, but you want to subscribe to WPC 33 to hear all the new stuff from the Smashing Pumpkins, and also hear some really great interviews with some of the best, the titans of the music industry today. And they're right, Kyle.
Shop code.
I didn't hear a word you said. It sounded like an alien robot.
Give him the shop code again.
Oh, the shop code. Yeah, head over to nationalwrestlingalliance.com/shop.
Me already.
Use the code NWA or stream NWA fam. That's you guys, the NWA fam. And listen, sorry, I know Gary usually spends a lot of time giving you guys shout outs with just one person here producing. It's kind of hard to do both. So I was running the videos and the chat. But thank you guys for being here. It was a fun show, right? We did all right.
Yeah.
We did good. We don't need Gary.
Gary for? What were we
Yeah,
doing?
we kind of
things
do.
down.
I don't like Gary.
I don't know. We're gonna
heat
go
for
out.
Garrison.
We're gonna go out on this though, just in honor of Gary. We'll go out here, and I'll go ahead and give the tagline. Thanks everyone for joining, and until next time, enjoy your.
Everyone sounds like aliens.